100%. That's the tariff the United States put on Chinese electric vehicles. A complete wall, total blockade, no way in, and 6%. That's what Canada just agreed to. The world's largest electric vehicle maker, bigger than Tesla, growing faster than anyone predicted, just told Bloomberg they're open to building a manufacturing facility in Canada, not the United States. Canada, BYD, the Chinese company that overtook Tesla in 2025, the company with factories spreading across Europe, South America, and Asia, the company that controls everything batteries, chips, assembly in one integrated system. And now they're looking at Canada as their gateway into North America. Trump threatened massive consequences, up to 100% tariffs on all Canadian goods. But here's the number buried in this deal that changes everything and tells you exactly why Canada made this move. Subscribe and hit the bell if you want to understand the strategy that just outplayed Washington. Let me show you what the United States did and why it's about to backfire spectacularly. Since 2024, America has built a fortress against Chinese electric vehicles. 100% tariffs, bans on connected vehicle technology, restrictions on battery imports. The message was clear. Chinese EVs are not welcome here. And for a while, it seemed to work. No BYD cars on American roads, no Chinese factories on American soil. Total victory. Or so they thought. But here's what Washington didn't understand. When you slam a door shut, determined companies don't give up. They find another door. Canada just opened one. The deal works like this. Canada drops tariffs on Chinese EVs from 100% to 6%. In return, China reduces tariffs on Canadian canola. Two countries helping each other at exactly the moment America is trying to isolate both of them. Think about what that means for Canadian workers. BYD doesn't just want to sell cars here, they want to build them here. A full manufacturing facility, Ontario jobs, Canadian supply chains, technology transfer that could reshape our entire auto industry. It's an opportunity for Ontario workers, one industry analyst said, an opportunity for Canada, done in a controlled way. Now here's where Trump enters the picture. The moment this deal started taking shape, the threats began. 100% tariffs on Canadian goods, not just cars, everything. A complete economic war if Canada moves forward. But Carney's government didn't blink. They didn't back down. They didn't ask Washington for permission. They signed the deal anyway. And what BYD said next, their exact words to Bloomberg about building in Canada, tells you this is far bigger than anyone in Washington expected. BYD told Bloomberg directly they're open to building a manufacturing facility in Canada. Full ownership, full operational control, their entire integrated system, batteries, chips, assembly, under one roof. Now here's why that matters. BYD isn't like other car companies. They don't outsource. They don't partner. They control every single piece of the supply chain. That's how they keep prices low. That's how they stay ahead of the curve. And that's how they overtook Tesla in 2025 to become the world's largest EV maker. Rapid fire, early 2026, BYD's international sales outpaced domestic sales for the first time ever. Factories running in Europe, investments flowing into South America, ultra-fast charging stations across Brazil. They're not waiting for anyone's permission. They're building influence everywhere. And now Canada could become their launchpad into North America. Think about the geography for a second. If you're BYD and you can't sell in America, 100% tariffs blocking every door, what do? You build right next door. You manufacture in Canada, and suddenly your cars are made in Canada, potentially eligible for different trade treatment under CUSMA. That's not just a factory, that's a strategic masterstroke. Now here's the tension that still needs to resolve. Canada prefers joint ventures, shared ownership, local partnerships, technology transfer with Canadian companies, taking a real stake. BYD wants full control, no partners, no shared decision making. Their system works because they run everything themselves. Right now, that's the standoff. No final agreement, both sides negotiating. But the fact that BYD is at the table, the fact that they're openly telling Bloomberg they want to build here, tells you how serious this is. And here's the contrast that makes Trump furious. America spent years building walls. Canada spent months building bridges. America said 100% tariffs, no exceptions. Canada said 6% tariffs, let's talk. Which country is getting the factory? It's an opportunity for Ontario workers, the analyst said, workers in Windsor, in Oshawa, in communities that GM just abandoned. The same places that lost jobs to Trump's trade war could gain them back through Canada's trade strategy. One country slams doors, another opens them, and the world's largest EV maker is choosing the open door. So let's see what Canada just accomplished and why Trump's threats might actually help us. Tens of thousands of Chinese electric vehicles entering Canadian markets at 6% tariffs. The world's largest EV maker actively exploring Canadian manufacturing. A deal structure that gives Canada leverage. Canola exports flowing to China while advanced technology potentially flows here. Now, here's the number that Wall Street is watching. BYD's international sales just outpaced domestic sales for the first time. That means they need markets like Canada. They need manufacturing footholds outside China, and they're willing to negotiate. That's leverage. That's a position GM and Ford never gave us. Take it or leave it. That was Detroit's attitude. Build here on our terms. Yeah, that's BYD's starting offer. And here's why Trump's 100% tariff threat might actually backfire. If America puts 100% tariffs on all Canadian goods, they're not just targeting China. They're cutting themselves off from Canadian energy, Canadian minerals, Canadian agriculture. They need us as much as we need them, maybe more. Meanwhile, what does Canada get from this deal? Manufacturing jobs in Ontario, technology transfer from the world's most advanced EV maker, leverage in negotiations because BYD wants access more than we need to give it, and a signal to every company watching Canada is open for business. The door is open, that analyst said, but it won't stay open forever. Trump tried to isolate Canada. Instead, he pushed us toward new partners. He tried to make us dependent on America. Instead, he showed us why diversification matters. BYD didn't beg America for access. They didn't fight the 100% tariff. They found another path, and that path runs through Canada. If you think Canada should welcome investment from companies that want to build here, regardless of what Washington thinks, hit that like button. This story needs to reach every Canadian. Now the question is, what happens next? Does BYD accept Canadian terms, joint ventures, shared ownership, technology transfer? Or does Canada adapt its approach to land the world's largest EV maker? My question for you, would you buy a Chinese electric vehicle if it was built in Canada by Canadian workers? I'm reading every comment. Here's what I see. Trump wanted a wall. He got one around America. Every company he blocked from entering the US is now looking at alternatives. Canada, Mexico, Europe. The fortress he built isn't keeping competitors out. It's keeping American consumers locked in with fewer choices and higher prices. Meanwhile, Canada took a different approach. Open doors, smart negotiations, leverage our strength, energy, minerals, skilled workers, access to North American markets. And now the world's largest EV maker is knocking on our door, not Washington's. It's an opportunity for Ontario workers, an opportunity for Canada. That's not spin, that's strategy, real jobs, real factories, real investment flowing to a country that welcomes it. BYD overtook Tesla. They're building on 4 continents, and they just told the world they're open to manufacturing in Canada. Trump built walls, Carney opened doors, and the largest EV company on earth is choosing the open door. They wanted to isolate us. They made us the destination instead. The full story of Canada's auto industry transformation, including the GM clawback that shocked Detroit. That breakdown is right here. I'll see you there.